I have become the best known sport flooring contractor in the world, and I'm just getting started. Hello, this is Paul Nelson with Western Sport Floors, Wyoming Wood Floors. I am in the 2021 Gym Floor School put on primarily by Mr. Floyd Shelton. We are here at the Hampton in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I am here with my friend, Mr. Randy Chase.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, Randy. I am so excited about the history of the Floor Mac. It used to be called Floor Mac Rider.
Yes, it did.
So tell me when that thing was developed. And by the way, I have an old one from a company that I bought from the 90s. I don't even know how many hundreds of thousands of times that thing went back and forth, and it's still alive.
No problems, huh?
Well, I wouldn't say no problems,
Yeah,
but the thing still goes back and forth. I mean, I think we've worn the tires, that hard neoprene rubber.
I get them in all the time where the rubber's down to the aluminum. It's insane.
They're amazing, and yet they're still working.
Yeah.
But tell us about the history of that thing and when it was developed.
So, from the best of my knowledge, it was developed in the late 80s by Brian Matson and Mike Powers.
And they were with Floor Style.
They were with Floor Style products. And then it's been along. There've been a couple of various changes on that rendition of it. And then we came along in 2013 when I took over Mac Manufacturing and changed the name to Emack Manufacturing.
So tell us, you hung out with somebody's kids.
So yeah, Mike Powers, the whole way I got involved in this is I grew up with Mike Powers' son Chad. So with being involved with him, somehow I got drawn into this. And I'd ask to help on the nights and weekends and things. Well, eventually.
So you were working in the shop.
Yep. And eventually I went to school to be a mechanic. I went to school to work on high performance race engines and things of that nature.
So your formal education is high performance racing.
Correct.
Okay, so you have a real strong mechanical background.
Exactly. And then when I came back from schooling, I worked in the garage for a couple of years. Well, at that point, Mike had started losing some guys here or there. So he's like, hey, would you like to come work for me? So I'm like, yeah, the automotive world was kind of failing a little bit because of the recession.
So maybe 08, 09.
Yeah, exactly. So this was around 2010 when he asked me to come work for him. So I'm like, oh, sure, I'll come work for you. And the rest is history.
The rest is history. Eventually, Mike retired, got out of the business. Floor Style went out of business at some point, and you started Emack Manufacturing.
Yep, I started with actually Mike's son Chad.
Okay.
And then Chad has since left. He actually went to build little parachute planes, and then now he's on to the next venture.
Okay.
So yeah.
But you stayed at Emack.
I stayed there because it's kind of a cool little niche industry. We get to do a lot of neat things, and to see your machine on a professional court, it's really a cool feeling.
Oh,
so,
for
yeah.
Sure. And if anybody that's watching this video, this is basically the worldwide standard, right? These things have gone nationwide, not just in the United States.
I actually have distributorship in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and Czech Republic, as well as 5 dealers in the United States.
So these things go worldwide.
They go worldwide. My biggest person that buys them from me is my Australian contact. He buys them and he sells them all over this country. So it's insane.
That's amazing. This machine, I recently was out at Greenpoint. Is it Hardwood Floor Distributing?
That's correct.
Greenpoint Hardwood Floor Distributing. Met with Mr. Terry Branson, and there's also a Todd Branson.
Todd, yes.
Those folks run this Greenpoint Hardwood Floor Distributing out of Portland, but it's actually...
It's like Clackamas, Oregon, or something like that. Yeah.
Greater Portland area.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
And I saw one of your brand new machines, and God love you. You have a USB port.
That's not the only thing that we've done. We've actually did a module drive line, because if you've ever had to work on one of these things in the field, say the rear end goes out, it's a pain. You got to take the motor, the transmission, the rear end. Well, with my unit, you can do it one of two ways. You can actually take 8 bolts out along the bottom to remove the module drive plates, take the wheels off, slip the axle out. All the electrical connections are quick disconnect. The throttle cable's all quick disconnect. You can do it that way, or you can take any component out one at a time. It doesn't matter.
Awesome. And so most of these old units you can even rebuild, you told me.
We can, as long as it has the flat bottom body. You can actually probably retrofit this module design in there, so it'd be kind of neat to do that.
Got it. And then I could, as a contractor, literally buy a whole new module setup.
Correct.
Keep it in my trailer, And if I had a breakdown on a job,
Just take it all apart.
what
and
would you estimate a contractor who's never done it before, how long would it take to take that module out?
I would say 40 minutes tops.
And you could talk them through that
Absolutely.
over the phone.
Yep.
Put a new module system in there,
And it's ready to go.
be up and running in a couple hours, perhaps.
Exactly.
Okay, and then you send that old module back to you and you can
Yep.
rebuild it?
The whole module weighs about 112 pounds, 115 pounds, somewhere in that neighborhood. UPS that thing right to us. We could bench test it, fix whatever the issue is, and ship it back.
Tease us a little bit with the things that you're working at Emack that may be coming out in the next few years.
So we're working on some sort of kind of double buffer setup.
Okay?
Um,
The old dual buffer,
Yep.
similar to what Floor Style had.
Yep. So we're kind of working on that a little bit. I've got a few in testing, so I'm hoping that we can have that up and running and out the door within the next year. We just got to make sure everything tests out correctly. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you got a dual buffer system coming out. Like I said, you put on a USB port if
Yeah.
you've ever been on a job and you need to have your cell phone charged.
And we're known for solving electrical issues. We build custom boosters, phase converters for pretty much any need. If you can dream it, we could probably build it. We've built a lot of weird things, so.
But really specific to gymnasium flooring contractors, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Line taping machine.
We do the line taping machine. We've actually changed the design of that in the last couple of years. Instead of making it out of casted aluminum, we had a lot of problems with the body cracking around the wheels and things of that nature. So we made the body out of a 5/16 steel plate now. So it weighs a little bit more, yes, but the tape adhesion is a lot better. You don't have to push as hard when you're taping. So.
Mr. Randy Chase, it's been a pleasure to finally meet with you.
Yeah.
I don't know how often we've talked on the phone over the past,
It's been a while.
but I'm glad to meet you.
I
in
am
person.
too, Paul. Thanks for doing this video with me.
You
So.
bet. For Western Sport Floors and Wyoming Wood Floors, this is Paul Nelson. You make it a great day.